Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about a brand that I have never heard of before. I was at my local Shoppers Drug Mart today, looking at the makeup as one does, and came across the brand Nude by Nature. And so I couldn't resist. I picked up their Complexion Essentials Starter Kit and their contour palette as well. So then I was talking to the lady in the beauty department and she gave me a little pamphlet. So it looks to be they have everything from complexion products to mascara to an eyeshadow palette to loose shadows, and there are lip products as well. This is an Australian brand, but according to their website they now are available internationally as well. We are proudly 100% cruelty-free and PETA certified. Nude by Nature does not support testing on animals of any kind. And the ingredient line looks to be quite clean. So they use Australian native extracts, vitamins, and essential oils to improve and enhance the appearance of your skin. A lot of the ingredients, I am not Australian, but a lot of these ingredients sound like made-up words. Ingredients such as kakadu plum and lily pilly, both powerful antioxidants, shea butter and jojoba oil, deep moisturizers, and vitamins A, C, and E can be found in our range. And they are also formulated without synthetic ingredients or preservatives. There's no talc, silicone, phthalates, and a bunch of other stuff I can't pronounce. Apparently, it's supposed to be all natural, and it is, like I said, cruelty-free. So, let's take a look at the products. This is a first impression at this point, but I am going to pop back in again, probably in a couple of days, to give you my thoughts. I'm going to continue using this, testing it out, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, seeing how it performs, all of that good stuff, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I will say right up front, the highlighting powder and the highlighting sticks I was not a fan of. I don't really like a super metallic blinding highlight, but I like it to be reflective, and these ones just in swatches really didn't reflect any light, and so they just looked like a pass to me, and I didn't pick them up. So this is the contour palette. It's got pretty gold packaging, not overly heavy, but there's a nice click to it, and this retailed for $38 Canadian, obviously. So opening it up, you've got the nice mirror there, and then there are the three powders here. So you have your highlight, your bronze, and your contour shade, and there they are on the fingers. They are quite soft and smooth, and as you can see in the hand swatch, they look to be quite pigmented. In the Complexion Essentials Kit, I was so excited that I just grabbed one, bought it, and came home, and then realized, wow, that shade is nowhere near what I need it to be. So Barry went out and exchanged it for me because he's lovely. So in here we're getting a primer, a concealer, loose powder foundation, loose bronzer, a loose finishing powder, and then a little brush and the travel kit, which looks like this. So the shade that I picked up is W4 Soft Sand. Kind of had to guess at them because there were no testers available. This little handout here does provide all the different shade options. The one I originally picked up was like N6, which was one of the darkest ones that they offer. It goes up to N7. Just in terms of the available shades, like these are the foundation shades over here. Are they? Yeah, all of these at the top are all the foundation shades. It doesn't look like there is a good option for really deep skin or really fair skin. So inside, it's actually quite a usable travel case. There are like spots where brushes can be held in place there. And then the products are included in this plastic insert, which would come out, and then you have quite a good amount of space there for putting products in for travel. There's the brush that comes with it. It's actually really soft. Sometimes these little mini brushes can be quite scratchy and I don't really end up using them, but I can actually see myself using this one because it is very, very soft. I like that. And then we have the primer. Here's what it looks like coming out of the tube. It has almost a medicinal scent to it, but again, just a hint of citrus. Oh, I don't like the smell once I start applying it and spreading it around. It just seemed to intensify a bit. I have glitter all over my face. And I probably will for the next 4 days because I have glitter on my eyes. seems to absorb quite well, and it doesn't feel very thick. Like, it does feel like it's sinking in. There's a little bit of stickiness, which I don't mind, but it does just feel more like a heavy moisturizer than like a silicone type product. And so the next up we have the foundation here, and this is the Radiant Loose Powder Foundation, again in Soft Sand. So there it is on half of my face. I think the shade's just a little bit dark for me, but the next step down was W2. There's no W3, so I think I'd probably have to mix the two, because I think W2 would be too light, but it's workable. Just gotta blend it down a little bit. It's not terrible. It is definitely yellow based, which is fine, because so am I, but it is a strong yellow pigment for sure. Let's see here. I don't have like particularly problem skin, so there's usually not a marked contrast between no foundation and foundation. The biggest difference is the concealer. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just do half of my face, and then we can really see what the difference looks like. So let's do that. But it's not like sitting on top of the skin, like it doesn't look powdery, which sometimes can happen with powder foundations. It just feels like skin though, like it doesn't feel powdery or anything like that, so it's actually quite nice, the finish. And it looks like skin too, like they call it radiant. I wouldn't say that it's really adding any glow. Like there's natural skin obviously, and then there's with the foundation, but it's certainly not mattifying either, so it is really just a very lifelike finish, if you will. It's just a little baby concealer. It's called the Perfecting Concealer. That's what it looks like here, just a little tiny tube of it. And it says it is a creamy liquid concealer that covers dark circles, is crease-free, and provides hydrating and antioxidant benefits. And this is in shade 03. You can hear the cat. He's going ballistic because I'm in here. Never mind the fact that my husband is literally sitting on the couch on just the other side of this wall. The cat wants to be where he can't get, but if I opened the door, he would come in here, look at me, and then turn around and walk on back out. So I apologize if you can hear him yowling. He is not hard done by, I promise. You can definitely see the difference between the under eye areas on both sides, so it really does add coverage. I am not disappointed by that at all, and it is quite hydrating in terms of the feel. Although it says that it's crease proof, I am going to use the loose powder. And I would definitely agree that this is translucent. It doesn't seem to be adding any color. Sometimes they call themselves translucent, but they're quite yellow. And then you end up looking almost sickly under your eyes. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's not settling into those fine lines that are under there at all. I think we have a winner, folks. I do. Obviously, this is first impressions. I gotta play around with it, but so far so good. Because I'm going through the kit, I'm gonna use the bronzer in here instead of in the contour powder, or the contour palette, but we'll give this one a go. So again, this one looks very warm toned, at least coming out, but it doesn't look nearly as intense on the hand as the one in the palette does. Let's just do a little comparison. So this is from the loose powder and this is from the contour kit. So this one is very strongly orange, which makes me a little bit nervous. All right. And it blends beautifully. I have to say I really like the shade of that. It's really realistic looking. It's not too orange at all. I like it. Alright, so Let's dig into the palette and do the contour shade from that. So the contour powder isn't nearly as strong as I thought it was going to be, which is not a complaint, to be honest, because I would rather have to build powders up than, you know, have them be like wham in your face the second you put them on and then you have nowhere to go. It is a nice cool toned powder. It does blend quite nicely, like it's not grabbing to certain areas and refusing to budge. So overall, I'm happy with that. All right. Well, I have to say that I quite like these. I mean, this is obviously first impression. I have to see how they're going to wear throughout the day and all that kind of thing. But that bronzer in particular, I'm really surprised by that. I've never used a loose bronzer and I really like it. I'm also really liking the foundation, especially with everything else applied on top. It is, I would say, medium to fullish coverage. Like it really, strong medium. We'll put it that way. I don't know that it's full coverage, but strong medium. And that concealer is really impressive as well. So, Nude by Nature, you are bringing it. You are in it to win it. I'm really excited to see what else you have to offer. Like blush, I'm really excited about blush. I will check back in a few days, let you know how it has been performing for me. But on first impressions, I'm stoked. Hey guys, hello again. It has been at least a week since I filmed my first impressions of the Nude by Nature Complexion Essentials and the Contour Bronzer Kit. In fact, it's been over a week. Oh, this shirt. There are these straps and they drive me crazy because they keep sliding off, so we're just gonna leave them down. If that's where they want to be, that's where they can be. So I have been playing around with it. I did take these products with me on our vacation, although after day one I kind of just gave up on makeup because I was a sweaty mess and it just did not make any sense. So my go-to beauty regime was a pair of sunglasses and a lot of sunscreen. So anyways, I have been playing around with this. I have been wearing the skin products for, hold please, let us see here, 9 o'clock, 10 hours today. So I thought I would just jump back in and give you sort of, excuse me, a burp to the face, give you sort of the rundown now that I've had a chance to really play around with these products so that it actually means something more to you than just, here's my first impressions. So let's take it from the top, which would be primer. I'm still not wild on the smell of this, but that's okay. It dissipates quickly. It's really just upon application and it's not a deal breaker for me. I do find that it is very moisturizing and it does work very well with the powder foundation. The foundation blends really well on top of it, which is always a concern for me with powder foundations, is that they're just going to get stuck, especially with more of a moisturizing kind of base to it. But that is not the case here, so I am on board with the primer. The foundation, I actually really like it. It blends easily, it looks like skin, it feels like skin, but it performs well throughout the day. So I've had this on for 10 hours today, and if I look up close, there is no separation happening. It's still on there. I've got a scratch on my face. I don't really know what the hell happened there. So there's a little bit of redness showing through, but nothing major. I would definitely say that this is more solidly a medium coverage. Like I don't think I could even really build it up to full unless I really went ham on it. But for a powder foundation, I'm very happy with that. And I love the way it feels. Like I said, I've had it on 10 hours. It's holding up really well, and my face doesn't feel uncomfortable. Like I don't feel like, I can't wait to get this off. It's very breathable. It performs like a dream. I just really, really enjoy this. I also really enjoy the bronzer that goes with it as well. So this is the Natural Glow Loose Bronzer, and I have it in the shade Bondi Bronze. And again, a tiny bit goes the longest way, but it blends beautifully. As for the bronzer in the palette, still not wild on the bronzer itself, but I do quite like the contour shade. And I do use sort of the highlighty kind of shade, just sort of center of the face, just to brighten things up a little bit. They are all completely matte products, so there is no shimmer in them, which is actually really quite nice. And the illuminating powder has like a slight yellow cast to it as well, which is really great for brightening things up. And I do like the contour shade because I do find that it provides quite natural looking shadows to my skin. Just the bronzer for me is just a little too orange. It's a little too stark for me, but with a really light hand and really blending it out, it is workable. I just prefer the loose one to the one in the palette. And then finally, with respect to the concealer, I know when I first applied it, I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but the more I wear it, the more I like it. I find that it is providing good coverage. Like I don't think it's the most full coverage that I own, but it is pretty high up there. It does not crease, it doesn't cake up. I've had it on, again, 10 hours, and it's still there. Like it's still going strong. So I'm really impressed by that. And a little bit goes a long way. So this little tube is going to last quite a while. The translucent powder that goes with it, I have no complaints about. Again, I didn't have to take the sifter out of this one. I find that it is very finely milled. It is quite smooth without having that silicone slip to it that some powders have. It sets the concealer down nicely. It doesn't get all cakey and look powdery or crepey on my skin, and I quite enjoy it. So the only other thing that came in the kit is the brush, and it's a great little brush. It's quite soft. Sometimes these little travel size brushes that come in these kits aren't the best quality I've found, but this one actually works really well, and it is great for buffing on the powder foundation. So that's what I use this one for. So overall, I'm really impressed with this line, and I'm looking forward to trying out some of their blushes and lip products, all of that. I'm going to have to go back to Shoppers Drug Mart and see if they've got more in stock. This little kit here, which has all of the loose products, the primer and the concealer and the brush, for $50, this was a great deal because these products are going to last a long time. I would definitely suggest checking this out in stores if you are in the market for something different. Powder, especially loose powder foundations, I don't find that there's a lot of them floating around, but this is definitely one I would totally recommend. All right, those are my thoughts on the Nude by Nature products. If I haven't made it abundantly clear, I highly recommend them. I really, really enjoy these. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now, guys.